Hello, everyone. Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. If you're following the same profile that we did, you might have slept in a little bit today. You know, the market's not open for me, so a nice midweek day to actually be able to sleep in. Might have spent most of the day hanging out with family, maybe doing some cooking or a lot of cooking, and then finally eating a little too much, a little too late in the day, and then taking the post meal afternoon nap, which leads you to putting out a video at around midnight. So sorry for getting this out late, but I did want to say thank you and happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Hopefully you were able to see some friends and or family during this time under these challenging conditions that we all face. Secondly, I do want to tell my clients specifically out there that I will put out a video here shortly, probably this weekend, on setting up a Calendly to try to meet with everybody between now and the end of the year. Again, this meeting's for you, it's not for me, but I do want to throw it out there. I'll give you some instructions on how to actually get on and schedule your meeting through the website, but we can sit down over Zoom anyway and go through your standard end of year stuff. Required minimum distributions not really required this year, but you still want to take them if you're on a certain schedule to draw down an amount of money. We need to talk about end of year tax planning, that sort of thing, to be able to do some tax loss harvesting in your taxable accounts out there. And then lastly, I've been talking a lot recently about investable themes under the Biden administration, which looks more and more likely every day. So the market's already kind of pivoted that way. So I can talk you through, there's about 10 investable themes that'll probably hold true for the next 4 years under the split government with a Democratic president. And then lastly, we'll talk about our game plan for 2021. We can look in the rearview mirror a little bit as to where we were and how we handled everything back in March with the big sell-off and the subsequent moves from there. But really, we need to be looking forward as to what next year will hold, what you can expect, and how much risk you want to take, those sort of conversations. But what I really want to tell you about tonight is something I'm very excited about doing tomorrow. I know this is a little bit late, so if you already went to bed, then you're getting this in the morning. But on Friday, November 27th, again, tomorrow morning, I'm doing my first ever young adult type of webinar. Some of Allie's friends have asked lately, hey, how do I invest? How to get started? Tell me a little bit more. Obviously, it's all educational. It's not promotional whatsoever. Those are not clients that I can generally help that have smaller accounts starting in high school, unless your parents are already a client. Then I can help you. But it's truly just education. So many of you know my story that I started investing at age 16. That was 100% because my parents got me into it and gave me a little bit to kind of whet my curiosity, and I kind of took it from there, and it literally changed my life. So I will tell that story very briefly tomorrow, but I also have, I'm going to share out the little screen for you to see. I'm very excited to have some volunteers that came out again largely through Allie's circle, as far as a circle of friends and acquaintances. But if you take a look at, they call it U20 investing. It's a little logo that Allie and her friend Mira came up with. So thank you for that. And then you can see it's tomorrow, November 27th. There's the time. I will put in the comments below the actual link for the webinar forum. There's a U20 panel. So obviously it starts off with my daughter, and who knows a little bit about investing because she helps me here in the office and does some stuff for me, and we talk about it. And I think it's important. And there's some other folks, but really I have 8 people, seven confirmed. The other one's going to be a hopeful there that Jalen can make it. But bringing some folks in, having them ask kind of some basic questions. I have it deconflict a little bit so I don't kind of step on each other and ask the same thing. But really have them ask the question, I will answer them, and I think it'll benefit a lot of folks out there. So if you have teens that are interested in getting investing, or maybe they're not and you want to expose them to it, I don't really want to have hostages there in the webinar. But if there's genuine interest, they can tune in. It will also be recorded. I know a lot of young folks work kind of in that target group, the under 20 age, off working or, sleeping in or whatever it is. But it will also be recorded and eventually end up on the YouTube channel, and more information will be out on that tomorrow. So thank you for my volunteers for being part of the U20 panel. For those that aren't on the panel, it's a webinar format. So when you join, you're not going to be on camera, and you won't be able to, you don't have to worry about muting because you're automatically muted. So it's kind of a risk-free hangout in the background. There will be a chat window. There will be a question and answer window for people to communicate, and just throw your question in the chat. I'm going to work through kind of the panel's questions first. Then it's really going to be, that'll take about 20, 25 minutes, really. Not going in depth. This is kind of 101 level information. So, but after that, we'll open it up to the chat. So I'll have somebody helping me with kind of the chat window and pointing at questions, and I'll be able to answer those for you. So hopefully you find it informative. Again, it's non-promotional, not selling anything, none of that BS that's associated with, you know, come eat a free steak dinner nonsense, not trying to push any agenda. This is sheer education. If parents want to listen, and fantastic too, right? So anyhow, I just wanted to tell everybody about that. Pretty excited about that. Again, the link will be in the comments. All right, so that's all I have for you. Again, hope you had a Merry Thanksgiving, and again, challenging times for everybody. So do look out for each other. These days when you're used to being around family and you're not, can be some dark days for some folks. So please do reach out and keep others in your hearts and prayers during this challenging time. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow at the teen and the young adult investing webinar. Talk to you soon.